this road takes back to my baby's house. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Traveling this old dirt road since my younger days. It's taken me to where I want to go, to a love so true and a love so right. Just take me home, take me down Reservation Road. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Back to her, back to her, back to her. Take me home, Reservation Road. Yarat e Arada Isnalsangi Horoya Denebanant Dr. Boo Nygren. Dean Jigone, the Modo Dean Jigone, Nishoron Kijanas. Si Hehandan Tilishni, si Harishi the Hada of Kisigi, Toshi Hajoda, the Hosliando, Hajoki did not eat a list. Again, just good afternoon to each and every one of you. It's President Nygren. Wherever you may be, you might be in northern Navajo, central Navajo, western, eastern, or even my neck of the woods here in Window Rock, Arizona. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. I know that every Thursday it's always an honor to do this update, and we've been very thorough on it. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in on a weekly basis. Some of you do enjoy the radio as well, so some of you are probably listening on the radio, all in Navajo. So, again, it's also available on Spotify and podcasts. So definitely, if you do miss the message, always continue to listen to it on Spotify or podcast. So I know some of you are asking about the Navajo version. So I definitely do record that before I come on live on this segment as well too. And one of the other things we're also doing too is on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're doing a 90-second video as well too. So just to kind of, I know for some of those channels you got to relay the information as quickly as possible. So that's what we're working on over there. So that's probably available over there. But to the rest of you here with me on Facebook, good afternoon to each and every one of you. I know I've been getting some messages this morning. I think some of you have texted me about the Navajo Times article that came out today. Just so you know, we got sidelined with that one because they gave us just a few hours yesterday to respond to it. But I'm glad that they're going to report our side of the story, because one of the things I've always told each and every one of you about is accountability and transparency. And as your president, so long as I'm president, I'm going to make sure that we work as hard as possible, and the people that don't want to work as hard as possible, for the Navajo people, they have no business working for me. Because one of the things I like to do is work. Time is of the essence, and that while we're on the Navajo people's time, let's make sure that we're being respectful, we're moving projects, and we're moving things forward. And there's always going to be times when there's situations where people no longer work for you, but there's certain expectations that I carry. I know in the office, some of my staff always tell me, President, you have such a high standard for excellence, and it really keeps me on my toes, and it keeps me up, wakes me up early, and keeps me working late. So, and that's kind of what I expect out of all my staff is know your job, know your duty, and don't complain, come with solutions. Let's figure out how to get these things resolved. So again, we'll issue a response. So definitely, you'll probably see a response to all the jene that's on those documents, and certain things that are on there that shouldn't even be in the paper as well too. So again, I have no tolerance when it comes to excellence and accountability and getting the work done for you all on a day-to-day basis. So, and that's one of the benefits of being your president, because I come from a strong work background of being a construction guy and a construction manager, making sure you're on job site at 6 a.m., leaving until 7 p.m. until things are moving. You might work Saturdays, you might work Sundays. What matters is getting that project done and the facility open is on schedule. So again, that's just who I am as a person. So again, but we'll get a press release out, kind of responding to Navajo Times one-sided story as well too. So again, I definitely got a lot of texts out there, so don't worry. I always tell my staff and everybody that works for me, there's two sets of eyes watching us every single day, no matter how dark it is, no matter if you think you're by yourself. So continue to make sure you have that same mindset, and you will be okay on a day-to-day basis. So moving on, upcoming holidays and appreciation days. December is National Human Rights Month. December 10, declared human rights by United Nations in 1948. And as defined by the United Nations, human rights are inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, and religion, or any other status. During December, we are encouraged to remember and celebrate those who have fought for human rights in the past, and to think about the ways in which we continue to fight for them today. Again, also another thing, National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. The holidays are among us, so remember to keep people off the roads who had a little bit to drink and a little bit who shouldn't be doing that, because there's loved ones and families on the road. So we got to continue to make sure that people that are considering to be driving while intoxicated. We keep them off the road and we report them to police because there's strong possibilities that they might take somebody's family, take somebody's loved one. So it's up to us to make sure that we do what we can to make sure we keep them off the road. Local announcements. Division of Social Services will host a Navajo Family Resource Night in Flagstaff on December 1st from 4:30 to 7:30 at Sanawa Middle School. So Division of Social Services, Division of Economic Development Director Tony Skrlanis and Thomas Cody will be out there. We're going to really try to bring out some of our programs and benefits that you can utilize because a lot of our relatives do live in urban communities and border towns, and sometimes they forget about the access that they have. And also we'll bring out the Native Community Capital for the Navajo Homeowner Assistance Fund for Navajo people that have own homes so that we can do what we can to assist them. And also the First Lady is still accepting new and gently used coats. So if you have a coat that you've worn maybe a few times and you want to donate it, and First Lady's doing a coat drive so she can get them out to some of the people in Flagstaff and some of the people in Gallup that are really in need and are walking the streets, and making sure that we keep them warm and that we can at least do that part. So if you want to reach out to First Lady's office, you can call 928-871-7000. Missing Navajo people, 15-year-old Jaden Clark, last seen Sunday, November 26, 5'9", 140 pounds, wearing a black hoodie. If you've got any information about Jaden, who's 15 years old, just a Shinyajan net, so Crown Point Police Department, 505-786-2050. 20-year-old Ariso Trent Bigay, last heard from November 14th in Winslow, Arizona. So if you know of the whereabouts, call Delcom Police, 928-657-8075. 61-year-old Daniel Dan Castillo, last seen November 17 in Pablo Ventado near Cuba. If you've seen Mr. Daniel, please call Crown Point Police, 505-786-2050. 47-year-old Albert Cleveland, last seen November 1st, 5'11", about 200 pounds. Call Window Rock Police at 928-871-611. Again, this has always been a part of my updates on a weekly basis. We've got relatives that are found because of this message, and there are relatives that they're still looking for. Again, any help is always helpful. What is happening in the world? One of the things that's happening in the world is just consumers have concerns over hay pricing and water in Arizona. I know that there's a lot of companies from Saudi Arabia who are growing hay and using up a lot of those waters. And I know that Governor Katie Hobbs kind of pulled a state land lease from one of them, and really trying to make sure that land and water is being used by the locals. Again, that's what's happening in the world, but you can read a little bit more about it in detail. And then moving on, this time in history, on the evening of December 1st, 1955, civil rights activist Rosa Parks was arrested. So she was best known for boycotting and riding a bus, and they told her to sit in the back. She didn't want to sit in the back. She felt like she was a human being just like every other person, that she was a five-finger being. She's got a heart, she's got eyes, she's got feet, and the only thing that's different is the color of our skin, and that shouldn't differentiate ourselves from one another. And such a champion in the African American culture and the people that she represents. And not only did she do it for the African Americans, but she did it for people like us, who are Navajo, American Indian, Native American, and even Asian American. So again, many kudos to her. And I know that the U.S. Supreme Court struck it down, and protection and saying being a violation of the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. So, and then she was one of the first ones to ride the newly desegregated buses as well back then. And so I know that she passed away in 2005, and that I know that the U.S. Senate passed resolution to allow her body to lie in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. So again, I think when you think about history, we've got some very influential leaders that had to took a lot of heat, but end of the day, they're remembered for people to taking a stance to make sure they stand for what's right. So it's great. Moving on, Navajo life lesson: protect yourself. Your hands are your wealth. Our Navajo people are so talented. Many of us are skilled at using their hands to create jewelry, sculptures, tooling, leather, and other forms. And some of them are great welders, electricians, pipe fitters. They're great at plumbing and digital networking, such as networking as well. So again, this winter, let's continue to make sure we encourage one another and support one another, and also work on your wood chopping skills to help out our elders as well too. So it's also good to work out, keep your body active, so you can continue to enjoy yourselves as well. So again, stay healthy, stay active, and use some of your skills to help our community as well. And moving on to this week's accomplishments, the Navajo Hopi Land Commission office purchased 2 water pumps for our elders that are living in the Hopi partition land who needed water pumps replaced, and they've secured them, and they'll be replacing them next week. So anytime when it comes to the Hopi Land partition area, the Bennett Freeze, I really feel for them, and I know that they've have a hard, long fought battle, and they're still continuing to fight. So I'm glad that Sarah Slim is constantly working over there on a day-to-day basis, because now that it's affecting the second, third, and in some cases the fourth generation of relocatees as well. And the Office of Tax and Revenues reports that they've collected about $1 million this past week in taxes from the pit and other taxes, and that they're working on fuel excise tax licenses throughout 2024. So again, it's good to know that our Navajo Nation Tax Office is constantly finding ways to make sure that they keep accountable of all the taxes that are coming in, so that we can use it in the long haul. The other thing that happened this week is I had my Director of Health, Kim Russell, out in D.C., and the Secretary, Xavier Becerra, at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, where they gather tribal leaders on a week-to-week basis, and she's my proxy. So she's been out there representing us, and some of the main topics they talked about is the lack of penicillin, the Medicaid fraud scandal in Arizona, and making sure that we address the lack of healthcare providers for tribal correctional facilities. And then last week, it was earlier this week, we had the U of A law school dean in my office, and we talked about the MOA that we signed, and really trying to encourage our law students to have a sense of duty to serve, to come home and help their people. Because sometimes a lot of times it's hard to bring our people home, but if we can continue to instill them with our being Navajo, having a respect for our way of life and our culture, and having that sense of duty, we would love to have a lot more of our attorneys come home after graduation. But this MOA, within partnership of U of A, gives them a full ride, tuition, room and board, food. They don't have to worry about anything, and they walk away with a top-notch law degree as well. So I know in the signing we had Madam Attorney General Ethel Branch, Doty Director Claudia Edgewater, Rose Graham from ONSRA there as well. So it was exciting to meet with the dean, and here in my office as well. He came all the way to Window Rock. It just shows the seriousness of really trying to make sure that he helps us generate and grow more Navajo attorneys. Major projects we're working on. I know the Division of Economic Development is tasked with looking for revenue generating, as I've mentioned to all of you time and time again, is in order for us to provide the services that are adequate, we're going to have increased revenue coming into the Navajo Nation. So to do that, we've got to look for revenue generating projects and support them. And one of them, I know that Mr. Tony Skrlanis has been working on, is a project in Lachit for a resort and tourist center and near the Horseshoe Bend area. I know the land's about to be withdrawn. It's in the early stages. My hope is that it's up and groundbreak by end of next year. So that's going to be a really nice facility if we can get that up and going, because Horseshoe Bend is a world-class area, and the Lachit community is excited about this project, and they've got my full support, because what that means is more taxes to the Navajo Nation, more Navajo employees are working there, and they're helping their family and their communities, and it brings more insight and more people to visit our beautiful country as well. And also the Attorney General is working on FRF legislative updates as well with council, and really trying to figure out ways to how can we update the existing FRF and ARPA legislation so that we can move more quickly and really try to resemble it based off of what the federal guidelines are. Because there's times when we over perfect what the government is telling us and we make it more complicated. So they're really trying to brainstorm on how can we ease up the requirements and just match federal requirements as well, so we can spend the dollars that are needed. Division of Natural Resources working with the department to update form processing within the Navajo Fish and Wildlife Director Gloria Tom to address biological and resource compliance form processing. Main thing is for any projects that you need, whether it's home site leases, right-of-ways, electrical lines, or even development projects. There's times when things are held up, so they're really trying to streamline the system and digitize it as well, so that projects move along a lot quicker, because we live in a day and age where we want it now. And that's one of the things that we've been focused on under my administration, is to continue to think in the day of today of how quickly can we get services promptly. So again, with the other thing that we've been working on, when it comes to meet and greets, I've been close to home than I normally do. I know that there's times when I travel pretty tight though. So when I travel to DC or travel somewhere, I'm usually traveling in the early mornings, get to the meetings and make my way back. So again, a lot of people don't like to travel with me because it's usually red eyes and red eyes back to make sure that I'm here in Window Rock. And that's one of the commitments I made to our people, is I want to be in the office. I want to do the work that nobody wants to do. And that's what it takes to run our government, is to make sure that you're close with your division directors, you're close with your staff, you're setting goals, objectives, looking at the platform and the promises that I made to the Navajo people and how we accomplishing that. Because we're coming up on 1 year. So 1 year is going to be very soon. It's about a month away. We're going to have an event on January 9th. We're going to call it the inaugural annual State of the Nation. I want to address what we've accomplished this past year, what we want to accomplish this coming year, what I want to accomplish as president. So just look forward to January 9th. But again, it's exciting. We had one person visit me as Miss Hunter Point Boarding School. Kendall R. Nelson she made a pie. She learned from TikTok to make a pie for me and the First Lady and the first baby as well too. So it was pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to meeting my daughter very soon too. So any day now. So we'll keep you guys updated. I know we get a lot of those text messages as well. Upcoming events, we've got the Navajo Nation Advisory Council Disability Conference happening on the 6th from 8 to 6 p.m. at the Department of Diné Education Auditorium from 7:30 a.m. So continue to join them, because in my own office, I got Yolanda Azusa Hastin, who works with MMIW and people with disabilities. And we want to make sure that their voice is heard here directly in the president's office. And Christmas Adopted an Elder is also happening in Noshchitty and Lupton. And so they're going to be in Gallup GMIC Building F, Room 10, if you want to pick up a card and really try to provide a gift so you can drop it off. December 8th, the Navajo Nation Veterinarian Program is having their grand reopening. They've got exams going. So if you want to take your animal out there, you reach out to them at 505-375214. And tomorrow kicks off the 25th Annual Keshmish Arts Market at the Navajo Nation Museum. Tomorrow will be 7 a.m., 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you want to sell some of your jewelry or go over there and buy some stuff for Christmas, go join them. But again, it's an honor to give you a report on a week-to-week basis. We are working as hard as we can, and as diligent as we can. So it's an honor to be your Navajo Nation president. So let's continue to keep moving forward. And end of the day, I like seeing results on a day-to-day basis. So thank you. Have a good day. Be careful on the roads. Watch out for one another. And thank you. Okay.
Hi. Oh, yeah. Good afternoon. She Claudia Edgewater, and she my discussion. Shlon the look at the net, but she's tune other to she that she don't want it to another. Hakot Egot Dene Sunshine. I am the acting superintendent for Department of Dene Education. Thank you to everyone listening online. I just want to fill you in on a couple of information given from our programs at the Department of Dene Education. First off, with our Navajo Nation Scholarship and Financial Assistance, 2023 fall semester fund information. 4,360 total number of students were awarded for this current funded semester. A total amount funded was $12,217,663.10 were awarded for the fall 2023 term. There were about 3,208 applications were not funded. ONSPA is now awarding for the spring term, so please get your applications in for this upcoming term for college. The Office of Dene Youth, Toys for Tots 2023. Chinle, Crown Point, Shipwreck, and Tuba City Dene sites have received Toys for Tots. Chinle received 9,406 toys. Crown Point received no reports yet. Shipwreck received 21,388 toys. Tuba City receives 17,356 toys. Fort Defiance Dene Youth Center does not receive Toys for Tots since Window Rock Police Department is responsible for accepting the toys on behalf of the Window Rock District. The toys will be given out to our schools across Navajo, and each child will receive 2 to 3 gifts depending on the ages and availability of toys and merchandises. Toys for Tots has been around for over 50 years within the Navajo Nation. Also, an in-kind item are usually provided to the chapter houses if requested or the Social Services Department. Crown Point Dene Youth, Delegate Danny Simpson met with the shortfall of Crown Point Youth Center. A meeting has been scheduled along with working with the President's Office, AML, and NHA as well. So that's been addressed. They attended the staff synopsis in Flagstaff during the week of November 13th through the 17th. They received a load of shipment from the Native American Toys for Tots November 20th, which will be receiving another shipment on November 27, 2023. Crown Point Agency continues to provide after-school programs, recreation, prevention activities within the schools, as well as providing community outreach and community levels to the chapters. Fort Defiance Youth, here they have been continuing to conduct outreach. Their staff do outreach with Ganado Intermediate School, Kinflichi, Sabadalke, Sehotso Intermediate Learning Center, and Grusa Springs Community Schools. They serve 2 chapters, which is the community outreach with Tohatchee and Cornfields outreach as well. Fort Defiance Dene Youth is also implementing the 2023-24 after-school program. The enrolled participants will be provided program lessons with recreation, sparks, academic success, Dene language and culture, character development, and prevention programs, arts and craft, funky fun days, and 4-H project days, gathering and gardening and greenhouse with New Mexico State University. There for Defiance Youth, there's also on-site 6 to 8-year-old co-ed basketball leagues, recruitment, which encompasses recruitment, practices, and games. They also have a National Book Month giveaway, painting workshop, youth night, game night. They're hosted as well. The Fort Defiance Youth implemented the Girl Scouts program, hosting monthly meetings, schedule activities and events for youth members. Girl Scout programs conducted by a coat drive, October 23rd, October 2023, and November 2023. And they to give donations to Hogan Hojoni Youth Center and senior centers. They also have recruitment being currently conducted for the upcoming year of 2024 for the 4-H Club program. So that is being hosted by Fort Defiance. Shipwreck Dene Youth, they have a welcoming, warming atmosphere. They're trying to build supportive relationships with peers and as caring adults. They continue daily operations in the Northern Area Agency to youth. They also provide outreach and awareness prevention programs. Curriculum includes bullying, drugs, alcohol use, gang involvement, and other critical topics in the area of youth are dealing with today. They provide daily homework assistance through their after-school academic enrichment program as well. They are trying to promote healthy habits through daily physical fitness activities there. They're also promoting in the areas of Navajo language and culture. They're building partnerships with BAE and BIA schools and provide Sparks program, which includes contributing to healthy body, healthy mind, social emotional learning, recreation activities, preventions, and awareness for elementary students. They're also continuing the collaboration for foster grandparents program for culture and Navajo language programs as well. They also transport students registered in the program to respective schools and centers to participate in after-school programs. The Navajo Health Education Program is assisting in the Navajo Youth Worst Behavioral Surveillance Program in all northern Navajo. Partnership with Cove and Rock Day schools provide Sparks recreation activities as well. So they, in the area of Shiprock, they do work in outreach with their local schools there and create partnerships and aligning support to have meet academic youth needs and developing their future. Also, November 13th through the 17th, the NAY Youth Synopsis, they were also in attendance, which also included school safety, entertainment, strategizing curriculum framework, and also dealing with the staff that serve our youth centers as well. At our Navajo Head Start office, we have HES that approved the Navajo Head Start to convert 168 student positions to early Head Start program. Navajo Head Start is addressing the underserved of 0 to 3 demographics in early childhood education across the Navajo Nation. A total of 168 are early Head Start students. Of 200 will begin transition process in 2024-2025 school year. The Navajo Nation Library, we had a wonderful celebration with the Diné Authors Success. They were presented plaques to Ramona Emerson, who was the author of Shudder, and Jelena Begay Kruap, who was the author of Becoming Miss Navajo. Both conducted readings and answered questions. Thanks to the Arizona Humanities for purchasing their books and were able to give out during this event. And also the public, they also would like to give a thanks to the Public Library Association and AT&T for providing an incentive award that helps the Navajo Nation purchase 7 brand new computers that would be conducted and used as a digital literacy workshop from December to February 2nd, 2024. The Navajo Nation Library has also created a partnership with the National Book Foundation to be a part of their book-rich environment, which will receive up to 50,000 brand new books in this upcoming school year of 2024 and 2025 to be distributed across Navajo Nation. We'll also be hosting the Authors and Book Market tomorrow, December 1st, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we'll have a variety of authors and publishers selling their published books. From the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitation Services, I have 2 grand announcements. They'll be hosting the 15th Annual Navajo Nation Disability Awareness Conference, December 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Department of Education Auditorium here in Window Rock. The conference is to provide individuals with disabilities and their family members, service providers, and other parties who are interested. Updates will be given on your legal rights with people with disability at the federal, state, and Navajo Nation level. Also, the disability initiatives to ensure non-discriminatory for individuals with disability. They'll be giving educational presentation on disability as well. So please attend. Once again, mark your calendars for December 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, they are going to host the Child Find December 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Window Rock Department of the Education Center Auditorium. Here, we will be screening for vision, hearing screening, developmental screening from ages 0 to 5. So please join us. And if you need more information, please contact Amanda Williams at nndoty.org. Or she can be reached at 928-871-7975. They're also hosting currently home visiting is taking place. They're doing open enrollments for Crown Point, Shiprock, Farmington, and Chinle. Thank you. From our Office of Dene Accountability and Compliance, we will be having our school reauthorization. In this reauthorization coming up this month will be Gray Hills Academy High School and also Kincaid Residential Campus as well. So from the Office of Education Research and Statistics, we've completed the 2023 school reapportionment data collection that will be used for the HES's upcoming reapportionment plan. So other than that, just been great and blessed with the snowstorm here at Windy Rock. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We are moving forward and addressing various issues on the nation, and also providing a lot more direct services to our schools here, the schools that we serve under Department of Education, as far as really revamping our division here. We're looking at a strategic alignment of having accountability placed in place for our offices, making sure that direct service are given to our communities of the Navajo Nation, really looking at improving school performances and our initiatives of what we would want for Navajo education. So thank you very much for spending your time with us today. We appreciate it. Please stay safe and stay warm out there, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Yate, good afternoon. My name is Bobby Ann Baldwin. Nash Ejet Kachin Slot Hana Bashichin, Nipit Kotni Eda Shiche Ado Ashien Dashanella. I'm the Executive Director for the Veterans Administration for Navajo Nation. We represent 5 of the agencies. Those are Fort Defiance Agency, Chinle Agency, Tuba City, Western Agency, Eastern Agency, and Northern Agency. Part of my update today will be in regards to the Veterans Trust Fund and the amount of funding that has been expended to assist veterans with their financial needs. So with the Veterans Trust Fund for Fort Defiance Agency, they have expended a total amount of $524,000 for the month of October and November. For the Chinle Agency, the Veterans Trust Fund has been expended up to the amount of $473,755 to assist the veterans, surviving spouses, and Gold Star mothers. For the Western Agency, they have expended a total amount of $624,867 to the veterans, surviving spouses, and Gold Star mothers. And then for the Crown Point Agency, Eastern Agency, they've expended $476,876. And then for the Northern Agency, they've expended a total of $112,852. Please be informed, let your veterans know, surviving spouses know, Gold Star mothers know that they do have a Veterans Trust Fund available to them. They do need to register at their local agency offices, and they would be able to qualify for assistances through the Veterans Trust Fund. Our Veterans Trust Fund assists veterans, surviving spouses, and Gold Star mothers with their basic needs in time of need, such as food, wood, rent, utility bills, propane, as well as minor home improvement projects around their homes, such as windows and doors and drywall, paint, tools. Those types of services are available to the veterans, surviving spouses, and Gold Star mothers. We also assist veterans with their medical appointments to the local VA hospitals that they need to travel to for their appointments, as well as assisting them with finances for veterans workshops. So please let your veterans know, and your families and your surviving spouses and Gold Star mothers. We enjoy working with our veterans and the surviving spouses and Gold Star mothers each and every day. If there's any problem with customer service, please be sure to bring it to the supervisor's attention, our deputy director, Ms. Lou Barber, or myself, and we can always be reached, and we will help to correct those measures. In addition to the Veterans Trust Fund, we also have our Veterans Trust Fund housing program. And with our housing program, we currently are working with one contractor. That is the Sparrow Group, and the Sparrow Group currently has a contract for the amount of $17,250,000. And with this contract, they are contracted to build homes for veterans, as well as providing renovations for surviving spouses, Gold Star mothers, and veterans alike. This contractor are there to provide turnkey constructed homes. And when we say turnkey constructed homes, we also mean that these homes have running water and electricity. So Those are the types of homes that we are also providing through the Veterans Trust Fund housing program. And again, the average cost for these homes are anywhere from $210,000 to $300,000, and they are roughly around about $250 to $310 per square foot. These homes are being constructed for the veterans who are the neediest of needy, such as the homeless veterans that are out there amongst our relatives. So that's what we are also trying to address with our veterans homelessness. Currently, the Sparrow Group has built 8 completed homes for the Navajo Nation Veterans Administration, and currently approximately 15 renovations. And then our project, we will be able to meet with our project, or with our projection, we will be able to meet about the needs for about 20 veterans for new construction homes and about 25 renovations for our qualified veterans, surviving spouses, and Gold Star mothers. So we look forward to continuing to work with the Sparrow Group and making sure that we are able to provide the best type of homes possible. Our other type of funding is our ARPA funding. Our ARPA funding is currently addressing the housing needs as well for the homeless veterans, and our contractor with the ARPA funding is the Southwest Indian Foundation. With the Southwest Indian Foundation, their main focus is on the new construction of homes, and they are able to help our veterans and our department to meet these needs of our veterans as well. So with the Southwest Indian Foundation, currently they have 5 projects that they're working on within the Fort Defiance Agency and within the Eastern Agency as well. They have also been awarded another contract with Navajo Nation. They'll be able to meet the needs of the non-veteran population as well. So we look forward to continuing our partnership with them. As far as announcements, the 3rd Tuesday, we also have the Vet Center Counseling. Our counselor assigned to our region is Miss Imelda James. She will be in the Chinle area to assist our veterans with any type of counseling that they may need. So if you'd like to schedule an appointment with Miss Imelda James, you're welcome to do so. Please give our office a call, 928-871-7307, and we'll be able to get that information to you on how to contact Miss Imelda and to schedule your appointment. Additionally, Miss Imelda James will be at the Crown Point Veterans Administration office on the 3rd Thursday of each month, and she will be providing additional counseling services at those locations as well. We ask that any veterans, surviving spouses, or Gold Star mothers who are currently waiting on their Veterans Trust Fund assistance checks to please be patient. We have been working nonstop and very diligently to process the payments. It is a several step procedure. Once the 105 for assistance has been submitted to our office, then we do our own internal checks and balances, and then from there we forward it to the Division of Finance. Quite often the Division of Finance is very short staffed, and we ask you to be patient, to be kind to their staff, and allow them to work on processing the payments in a timely manner. And we ask that you maintain your patience and your respect towards our staff within the Veterans Administration as well. Additionally, we do have another counseling services that we are currently in the talks for contracting out, and that is with a talking circle, initiating a talking circle in each of our respective agencies, as well as moving out towards the districts to make the services for talking circles easily accessible for more of our veterans. If you have any questions on filing VA claims, VA disability and compensation claims, please reach out to your local agency office and we'll be able to assist you. We currently have 9 accredited veteran services officers, and they are available to you. If you need any of their services, please reach out to us. Our phone numbers, email addresses, all our contact information is also available on our website at www.nnva-navajo.gov. Okay, so these are our updates for the Navajo Nation Veterans Administration. The one last thing I would like to add is that we are currently working on an application with the federal government for a grant for a national veteran cemetery here on Navajo Nation. This has been in the process for some time. However, the ball was dropped for a bit, and we are reigniting our efforts there. So we'll be doing this in our upcoming fiscal year. During this duration, we are finalizing the application process, and we are trying to secure the land for the National Cemetery here on Navajo. Again, my name is Bobby Ann Baldwin. If you need to get a hold of me, please contact me at 928-871-7307. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Tico Charlie. I'm of the Assistant Otni, but Otni, the Tabaha Tadajini clan, and I'm the Executive Director for the Navajo Nation Telecommunication Regulatory Commission. And I come to you again to give you a quick update, and hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, a good meeting with your family and loved ones. But the portion that we're doing here is we are working with the state of New Mexico and the federal communications. We just had a meeting earlier this morning again, and how we're working together to work on our mapping system on there. So far, we found quite a bit of missing what they call broadband service locations. And we did go forth of improving this even more dramatically. When we did, we presented it to FCC, and we're looking about 18,000 missing in New Mexico. But what we found out was there was another 1,000, and they were missing, so we had to get the state in because the state is redoing their mapping system, and they come to find out by looking at ours, there was such a big difference that we were losing money all the way around. So the state and I came to the conclusion that we are going to work together to get this thing done, to get as much as we can funding wise from the state of New Mexico to the Navajo Nation on there. So we included the FCC because we're after more money that they have up there, and to secure some more funding sources to get broadband services out. This is going on in the state of New Mexico as we're talking right now. So we met with FCC this morning, and they were quite impressed with our mapping system of what we have, including in this mapping system, which we presented to them. There was the opportunity to go after other funding sources that were there, which included the rural addressing, the E911, the economic ventureships of where everything is at, the population growth that was going on. So we were kind of touching on those bases on there because we were going after their funding sources. From there, we're kind of duplicating the same thing for Arizona on there. We met with Arizona also, and they have quite a bit of funding sources that are down there. So we kind of worked in confluence of bringing all those together where we can use all their funding sources. As a matter of fact, we even asked them, and which they really did give us what they call a layer over our mapping system to show how many grants each one of our service carrier has. We look all the way back in 10 years for every grant that all of our carriers have received to help the Native people on there. And we tally that up and we're looking almost $1 billion. So my question to the service providers then was, what did you do with it? How come the services are not proved to this level? And I said, these are the questions that we get from the people on there, just as the questions that we get all the way around and our leaderships are asking on there. And that's what we're asking also. We give you the money, where is it? So we do have that all broken down, and we're going through that again. Now we're, I guess you could say, project management is becoming more an essential of what we're doing right now, because I want to know where every project is going. Is it completed? Can it be completed in this timeline? Because I want to also go after some more funding, grant funding that's out there. But I'm also looking at stabilization, how to keep it going. Once you get it, what do you do with it? How do you stabilize that? And that's what I'm going to be working on next on there. And we're looking at different funding groups to work with us on that. And I'm trying to get everybody I can involved into that. So we got the state, the federal. I'm working with the county now to see what they have on there, so we can all, I guess you say, come off one page. We have other people that are coming in and they run with that, and it kind of goes off in a different direction. So we had set one portion to where we can all move as one. And I told them our leadership should be moving as one, and that's what they're doing now. And it's become so relevant that I'm really impressed the way our leadership is moving forward, because they understand this and they're making it, I guess you could say, known to make that go forward. If we talk as one, we gain more as one. And that's what we're after also. So I'm really impressed with our leadership, that they're pushing that in that direction on there. And it really helps when we bring everybody in and we bring them aboard. This is really going after all the funding sources that are going on, because NTIA, the National Telecommunication Infrastructure Administration Group, that's at the federal level on there, are very well impressed with what we're doing. They kind of want to use our model to help other Indian tribes across the United States right now. So I told them that one size doesn't fit all. We're looking at the fiber, we're looking at microwave, the fixed wireless, and satellite. We're looking at all those mentorships that are going in there. And I told them these are the criterias, but we're setting it at a high level so we can reach the 100 megs and above. And that way we're kind of ahead of the area. So in that, a lot of the border towns are calling us and asking us for help. But I said, let us get our portion first. That way we can branch out and make it a little bit better as we're moving out. And that kind of where my report is on there. So I was really excited about getting all the grants on there, so I can see where everything is going. And I'm still questioning all the service providers. Where are they? Give me some kind of scenario of what you did with the grant. And that's just to make sure that they're accountable for how they're using the grant. So that's what I'm doing, and we're setting that up with everybody on there. So again, I want to say thank you, and this kind of concludes my report. And I know it was quick and short, but I have another meeting again here with FCC. So we're pushing everything forward. So again, thank you so much, and thank you again.
Hello. All right, let's try this again. I've been having a little bit of mic difficulty, but I want to say, hey, this is Stephen Edsity from the Navajo Nation EPA, Executive Director. I am in Santa Fe, New Mexico today. I am part of a leadership team that's representing the president here at the New Mexico State Legislature. We just got finished giving a report on some serious issues that the nation reported to the Indian Affairs Committee, sitting before our chair, Wanda Johnson, and the vice chair, Senator Sharon Pinto. I'm here with the Division of Community Development, Director Mitchell, and executive staff from the President's Office, Arvin Trujillo and Yolanda Azua. And this month for Navajo EPA has been very busy, not only doing this today, but earlier this month we sat down for a whole week with United States EPA, our counterpart, reviewing all of the last 12 months of work on cleaning up abandoned uranium mines. We did look at the schedule for what we were planning to have underway as far as cleanups go. When I first came on board in January, US EPA was saying that they had 10 decision documents that are called engineering evaluation cost analysis documents. We call them ECAs, EECAs. They wanted to complete 10 of them this year. So far, we have one of them. That was a document that I informed you about earlier this year, and that is for a site called the Charles Hushgon Mine, number 12, out in Cameron, Arizona. That got completed, and that's going to be starting construction in 2024. We have another ECA document that has now made its way into the public comment period. And that was one of the mines that we talked about with US EPA the week before Thanksgiving over in their offices in Flagstaff, Arizona. We now have 7 sites that are going to be available for public review. The public comment period for these sites in the Eastern Agency in and around Mariano Lake Chapter, they are now available for public review. The ECA document for that is available for public review, and EPA is open their doors to allow for public commenting. So we look forward to receiving public comments from community members in Mariano Lake Chapter and all of the other chapters that are near Mariano Lake Chapter, people who have an interest. In fact, anybody in the United States, if they have an interest, can make comments on this action, this proposed action, this decision that the United States Environmental Protection Agency will be making for the cleanup of the Ruby mines, the Mac and Blackjack mines, and Mariano Lake mines out in the Eastern Agency. My staff is available to help. If you want to reach out to the Navajo Nation Superfund program, you can reach them at the phone number 928-871-7993. That's the direct phone number to the Waste Regulatory Compliance Department, wherein the Navajo Superfund program is placed. We will be helping, we will be commenting ourselves during this public comment period. I mentioned that the public comment period is open. It opened on October 21, 2023. It will close on December 25th, 2023. So it's a 60-day public comment period window. And that's something that the Navajo EPA asked US EPA for at mid-year. Initially, EPA was only allowing for a 30-day public comment period when they released these decision documents for public review and comment. And so we're appreciative of their willingness to provide that flexibility, allow our people, allow our chapters, along with their CLUPCs, their community land use planning committees, and grazing officials, if need be, if they need to get together and review this information and come up with a very well-constructed comment from the chapter and pass it with a resolution. There's 2 months now in the time frame to get that work done. We also have a lot of work that's going on reviewing technology. And the last thing I'll say for the month of November as we lead into December, I will be participating in a meeting in reviewing ongoing research under the University of New Mexico Metals Superfund Research Program. That's a meeting that starts next week in Albuquerque, And the topic of this research and the presentations of updates on ongoing research will be focusing on the application of science and technology for indigenous communities. It's one of the first times I've ever heard that the EPA and their Superfund program is now directing resources and technology, scientific research in the area of answering questions that come from indigenous communities. I've often criticized the United States EPA and the use of the CERCLA process because many of the tools that we currently have at our disposal were never created for application in Indian country. So this ongoing research and the individuals doing these research projects, I'm very interested in hearing, and we hope to be bringing some of this information back to you and perhaps bringing some of these research findings and some of their applications to these solutions so that we can get better results on these abandoned uranium mine cleanups. So with that, I want to wish everybody happy holidays, and the winter weather is now upon us, so please take care of yourselves, take care of your children, take care of your parents, take care of your grandparents and all your relatives, and have a safe December and on to the rest of the holiday season. This is Stevenette City from the Navajo Nation EPA, and I just want to say a shout out to all my personnel too, my staff. Thank you very much.